Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I am doing hot cocoa and topics. I asked you guys on Instagram, what do you guys want to talk about? The questions ranged all the way from advice to what's going on in my life now, how am I feeling? You guys asked a bunch of questions. I think I have like 30 questions down, so we're gonna get to that, but the first part is we are going to be making hot cocoa from scratch. Ask me why I just can't go buy some regular cocoa and make it that way. I don't know. I really don't know why I didn't just do that, but I'm just really in the holiday spirit this year. The holidays get fun when you have a kid, and I saw the boy on Twitter, I can't remember his name, but he always does some like cooking tutorials, like the mini tutorials on Twitter, and it's so funny and I love it. And I saw this and I was like, you know what, let me try it. So here goes nothing. These are all of the ingredients you're gonna need. I have whipped cream, because what's hot chocolate without whipped cream? Sugar, cocoa powder, marshmallows, some sprinkles. These are really cute. It comes with all different kind of sprinkles. Milk, I stole Six's milk because I don't drink cow's milk, but for this you're gonna need it. And then we have chocolate. I went with, I don't really know what the name of this chocolate is or how to say it, but this one. I don't want to say it wrong, and then y'all be talking trash. As you can see, my chocolate is laid here. I have my milk already going on the stove. Oh, don't forget your mugs, guys. We're gonna need your mugs. Gotta have somewhere to put the hot chocolate. Mine is really cute. Got it from Target. It has an S on it. Got Brook one too. It has a B on it. So basically what I did is I just filled the cup up a quarter of the way with some milk and dumped it in there, put on the stove, and right now I'm letting it warm on the stove on medium while I do this part. Yeah, so the first thing I'm gonna do is chop my chocolate up really nice and go with me. Okay, my chocolate is nicely chopped. Chocolate is harder to chop than you would think it is. I personally used white chocolate because I'm not a big chocolate person, but I love white chocolate. I eat white chocolate everything. But you can use regular chocolate, you can use dark chocolate, you can use any chocolate that you want. But this is what it needs to look like. It honestly needs to be a lot smaller than this, but that was kind of hard. So I'm gonna add my cocoa powder to my milk, and I'm gonna add some sugar to my milk. And then once those things start boiling together, well, not boiling, but warming up, I will add my chocolate into that. So let's go. Making it is really good, y'all. I tried it. Now I get what the hype is about making your hot chocolate from scratch, because this is way better than regular hot cocoa. It still is brown and it still is pretty dark, but it tastes like white chocolate. It doesn't taste like regular chocolate at all. Six was eating the whipped cream, y'all. So now it's time to make it taste even better. Whipped cream first. Yeah, I love whipped cream. I get whipped cream for everything. I'm not a big fan of marshmallows, but marshmallows are funny to me. One thing me and Brooke used to do when we were little, which is bad, do not do that. We would lick the bottom of the marshmallows, because my mom would always buy jumbo packs of marshmallows. I don't really know why she did that. But we would lick the bottom and throw them on the ceiling. Sorry, Mom. And now I am going to use the sprinkles. I think I'm gonna use these little balls because they look kind of cute. So let's see. Ooh, yeah, I like that. And ta-da, we have our homemade, from scratch, I think, not completely from scratch. I mean, what would you do different? Whatever, I'm not even going through that. Our homemade hot cocoa from scratch. See how it tastes. So, first question is, am I big on materialistic things? I am not. If you look at any of my bags and shoes, they are quite filthy because I am such a tomboy and I'm just moving so fast all the time that I make mess of things. My shoes are pretty scuffed up. You could literally buy me a bird or a skateboard or some flowers, some sunflowers, because sunflowers are my favorite, and I'll appreciate that and I'll take better care of it way more than I would a pair of bags of shoes. Okay, so no, I'm not materialistic. I think that a lot of that stuff is such a big waste of money, which is why I don't buy it a lot for $6. He has some nice pieces, but why would I pay so much for one article of clothing that once I take a picture in it, the world will tell me I can't wear it again? No. Just answer that question. The way to my heart is not a bag or a pair of shoes. How am I liking Miami so far? Y'all see this view? How are you guys liking me in Miami so far? I love Miami. There's another question in here that basically said, why did I choose Miami? So I've been to Florida quite a few times. I've been to Orlando, I've been to Fort Lauderdale, I've been to Miami. This has by far been my favorite place to come and visit. I love being outside. I love being near the water. I love the warm weather. I am just my best version of myself when I'm closest to the water and I'm in the sun and I'm doing what I like to do. You guys know I love to go to the beaches. It's one of my favorite places. So the plan was always to live in Miami. Before we separated, we had agreed that before we moved to LA, we had agreed that, okay, we'll do such and such amount of time in LA and then we will settle and buy a home in Miami, because that was my plan. I was gonna buy a house out here, and I went home for about 2 months and I kind of just was like, you know what, where I wasn't working, but this is definitely not it. I left for a reason. Just go ahead and do it. Just go get the place in Miami that you wanted. Like, what am I waiting for, you know? So instead of buying a house, I figured I'd give it a trial run and I'll do an apartment for a while. And y'all, I love it. This is just, me and Six have been waking up early in the morning. Y'all know we are not morning people anymore. I don't know what happened, but we just would sit in bed all day. We get up every day around like 10 a.m., 9:30 some days, and we go on a walk. And we just, I love it here. But I always have. I just knew that this is the place that I wanted to live. So that answers 2 questions with 1 answer. How am I dealing with my breakup? How's my mental health? Because I got a lot of those questions. So I'm just gonna stuff like all the questions that are going in the same direction in one thing. I am actually surprisingly doing really good. Better than I had expected. You know, when you think about breaking up, I think that it seems so traumatic and it seems so bad, and it doesn't have to be. You know, for a couple of days, for a couple of weeks actually, I kind of sulked in it, and then I woke up one day and I was like, you know, you could just be okay. Like, I don't think that we realize sometimes how much control that we have over our emotions, and we really can just decide that you want to be okay. So one day I was like, you know what, let me just decide that I'm going to be okay. And then also I think that the things that took place in my relationship were so bad that the breakup seems easier, because the relationship was so hard on me. It was so sad for me at times. It was extremely heartbreaking at times. So the breakup doesn't seem, you know, I just remember being sadder in the relationship than I am out of the relationship. And not all the time. That doesn't mean I was always sad, but when things took place, you know, it's hard to get over it. And yeah, I'm really doing okay, y'all. Honestly, like, I feel, and this is not to throw any shade or make anybody feel any type of way, but a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. It may not have been a relationship, it may not have been him personally, but something has just been lifted, and I just feel like I can breathe again. Like, yeah, I feel like I have a voice again. I feel like I just feel like me again. I feel okay. So I'm doing okay with my breakup, y'all. My mental health is actually better than it's been in a long time, so no need to worry about little old me. I am a pusher. I am gonna push through. Do you plan on having more kids? How many and how soon? By the way, 6 is so cute. Thank you. First of all, he is the cutest little rotten little thing I've ever seen in my life. I honestly, if I'm being honest, if my situation was stable and if my situation was working how I would like it to have worked, I would be pregnant again already. I did not have a baby because somebody wanted to have a baby. I was 100% ready to have a baby. I knew that that's what I wanted to do, and I knew that that's who I wanted to do it with. I don't know, it's just something about being a mom that I feel like out of everything that I've ever done, it's the only thing that I'm good at. It's the only thing that I don't question myself at. Like, I'll question some of my decision-making skills, and I'll question, you know, my people, some of the people I have in my life. I'll question everything, but I have never once stopped and questioned, am I a good mom? Am I doing this right? Should I have done this? Like, that is something that I just knew that I wanted to do. So I think I want 3 kids. I used to say I wanted 6. I used to say I wanted 6 children. I wanted a big family. And then I had one, and I was like, yeah, I might could do 3 of these. If I have another baby, hopefully it would be a girl. I would name her 11, and I would spell it with a Y, and her name will be 11 Marie, because my grandmother's middle name is Marie, and well, now it's just my grandmother's middle name. Initially, the name came from baby daddy and I both having both of our grandmothers being named Marie. So, but now it's just because my grandma, and that's okay. But yeah, so 11 Marie would be the name, and when the time is right, I will have another baby. I actually want to be married before I have another child. How do you know when enough is enough relationship-wise? For me, it kind of just got to a point where we did not fight a lot, guys. When we were good, we were good. But when we were bad, we were horribly bad. Like, it was bad. So for me, that was the problem. It was like, when it was good, it was just good, you know. It was just good enough to stay. It was just good enough to make it work. It was just good enough. It was just good, and it wasn't great. It wasn't amazing. It was just good. It just worked. But when we were bad, the highs were okay, and then the lows were in hell, if that's the best way to put it. And so it just didn't seem worth it anymore. It just didn't seem, it stopped being fun. It just didn't work. So, you know, one day I kind of looked, I just remember looking in the mirror and thinking to myself, I would not be content with being in this situation for the rest of my life. And I did. I stared at myself for a long time, and I asked myself, I'm like, Seven, when you look back 20, 30, 10, 15 years from now, will this be your ideal relationship? And no, I literally looked at myself and I said, no, I would not be okay with ending my life, you know, with this relationship. So I just felt like it was time. It was time to go. It was time to just go. And so I just did it. I just packed everything up and I left. So that's when, you know, when it's just not fun anymore. It is just not a good time, because realistically you are going to have hard times in your relationship. You're going to go through things together, but it has to be worth it. And I just didn't feel like it was worth going through those things anymore. Next question. Yeah, I don't even know why I chose to do this Q&A. It gets dark so fast. But anyway, I knew what all the questions would be about. That's why I kind of been just chilling, avoiding Q&As for a minute. But y'all know I'm very open and I'm very honest. So if we're going to talk about it, we're going to talk about it. Somebody asked, if Taliban was to get his life together or get himself together and be who you know he can be, would you wait? I have no more waiting to do for him. I'm gonna start there. I've waited long enough for him. But the thing about Taliban is that he has the potential to be a great person, but Taliban is so content with who he is. He loves himself as who he is. He does not think that any part of him needs any fixing. And with somebody like that, who is so comfortable in themselves and so sure of themselves and just so happy with who they are, there is nothing that you can do for them, because they're pleased with how they are. And as long as he can sleep at night, it doesn't matter how, you know, everybody else feels about him. Like, I could literally be like, you a piece of shit, and he'll be like, I know myself and I love myself, so I don't care what you say. So I don't think about that, because I think that only makes the breakup harder. The shoulda, coulda, woulda, could have been or should have been, or how they could be. And that's what I think is our biggest problem, like as women, or sometimes anybody, because men go through the same thing. We're so busy thinking of who the person could be or has the potential to be that we forget to just look at who they are, and then it's a mess by the time that we look up. So no, I'm not waiting. I would never say that there is no hope of us getting back together, but I'm looking forward, and he would have to figure out how to get, you know, there would have to be really, yeah, he would have to get in my forward vision. He would have to be in that role with me. He would have to be going down the lane that I'm going down, and then we will go from there. How do you feel about parents being friends and still having a bond outside of being parents? I personally think that the best thing for the co-parenting situation is to have a friendship. I have watched my parents have such a bad relationship, and it makes it impossible for our family dynamic to work. And as much as, you know, you could think that it doesn't, like, oh no, it's two different things, so it doesn't matter. It does matter, because at the end of the day, we're all one. So somebody will always see less of, so we see less of our dad, because he is the parent that makes the relationship harder, in my opinion, you know. Yeah, I think it's just really important to be able to put your differences to the side and say, look, we did not work, but we have this baby, and, you know, you'll move on and you'll create your family, and I'll move on and I'll create my family, and this baby will be the common denominator between the families. And, you know, it's unfortunate because my little brothers don't get to see a lot of Six, and they love him. But also, you know, conversations that have been had in front of my younger brothers about my mom makes them feel like they cannot have a relationship with my mom. So it's hard because, yeah, we're not gonna go into my family drama, but it definitely is very important. My parents' inability to figure out how to make it work has completely ruined family relationships on one side. Not ruined it, but it's just not where it could be. And had they, you know, done something different, it wouldn't be like that. So I think co-parenting is really, really important. I think having a friendship is really important. Because then, you know, too, for me, I talk to my friends different than I talk to my partner. Like, I'm so gentle with my friends. So when you get that friendship, a genuine friendship, you'll be more gentler with them. You'll ask them questions. You'll genuinely be concerned, and you'll be speaking from another perspective instead of a relationship perspective. So yeah, I think in order to have a successful co-parenting relationship, you should be friends. When will I start back dating, and what am I looking for in a future partner? I don't know, because I at one point had thought I was ready, and then I kind of realized, you know what, I'm not ready. I have been with the same person for the past 4 or 5 years. Well, would have been 5 years, I think. And I just don't know how to talk to people anymore. I feel like I don't know how to flirt. I feel like I don't know how to do any of that stuff anymore, because, you know, I'm just used. Once you get used to one person, you just talk to them a certain type of way, and you're comfortable with them. So I don't know when I'll be ready to like fully start dating again. And I'm not rushing myself, you know. I don't feel like I am a 26-year-old with a kid. My goal, well, I'm not focused on dating, because right now I'm focused on, you know what, I don't know. I just feel like I should be focused on why I have a baby with somebody and we're not together. Somewhere along the lines, I made the wrong decisions or had the wrong judgment, or, you know, I just don't think I should be focused on dating, because clearly I'm not good at it. And I need to focus on myself, and I need to focus on being a mom, because now dating will be different. I'm not, you know, I can't just be running around. I can't just be jet setting. I can't just be getting up and going, because I'm a mom now. So I have to like really just focus on myself, be the best version of myself, and then I'll attract, you know, somebody really good. And that goes into the second question. What am I looking for in my next relationship? I just want somebody that's nice, y'all. I am a really nice person. Sometimes I'm too nice, and strangely enough, I attract not so nice people. So I really want a nice partner. I want to be courted. I want flowers. I want surprises. I want planned dates. I really want somebody to plan a date and take me on a date. And that takes me back to the first question, like, how do you have a baby with somebody and nobody's ever like surprised you and took you on a date, or, you know, bought you some just because flowers? So yeah, I have other things to focus on besides dating. I have to figure out what I was doing, you know, what I was thinking, what made me feel like this was the right person. And I didn't, you know, I didn't get things simple as like opening the car door for you. I just want somebody that's really nice. I want a gentleman. I want somebody that is going to not necessarily cater to me, but I want to feel some princess treatment, you know. I'm trying to see, I want to see what it's like. I want somebody to surprise me and take me on a date, or take me on vacation if you want to. But that is, I'm not looking, and I don't know when I'll be ready to date. But I think that if I focus on myself, I'll attract the proper thing. Like, I think a lot of times, you know, I get in relationships and I'm trying to fix the other person, and if I just fix myself, I won't attract people that I need to fix. I'll attract people that are already here, you know, where I am on my level. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. How do you get over heartbreak? I think that this kind of is like, how do you deal with a breakup? But I don't know how to answer this. I think that, you know, my mom has always told me time heals everything. Take your time. Take as much time as you need. But I don't think that I'm going through a heartbreak. I think that I already have went through the heartbreak. You know, like I said, my relationship wasn't all bad, but I got broken in that relationship due to some of the things that, you know, he was doing. And my heart broke in that relationship. My heart broke, I think, when I was pregnant. So, you know, my breakup really doesn't feel like a heartbreak. It feels like I am putting myself back together again. Like I have, sorry. And these are like tears of joy, y'all, because I honestly feel so light now, you know, and I talk to Brooke about it, but I just feel, I don't know, like I can breathe again a little bit. I think that I was drowning a little bit in my own sorrows, but I don't think I'm going through a heartbreak. What I will say is that I think that time heals everything, but I am going through a put back together process. When I left the relationship with, you know, heartbroken. Well, I got heartbroken in a relationship, and now I have a chance to take these pieces and put them back together exactly how I want them to. I have a chance to be what I want to, and I feel like I got a chance to start over, which is why I have no beef with my baby daddy. I get a new chance to really go find out what I like, really go find out what I want, really find out what I need. So that's good. But no, I don't think I'm going through a heartbreak. I'm taking some glue and I'm taking some tape and I'm piecing it all back together in the best way possible. So I don't know, I just know time heals everything. Heartbreaking is not necessarily bad. Look at what it's doing for me, you know. I think that I needed to get my heart broken. I'm too nice and I'm too trusting and I'm too friendly sometimes, and sometimes I'm just too much of everything to everybody. And I think life needed me to see like 7. Everybody is not like you. Some people do have different intentions. Some people do you know, have ulterior motives, and if you don't toughen up, if you don't get it together, if you don't save some of everything that you give to everybody else for yourself, you are not gonna make it. So now I have a new understanding and all these pieces, and I get to put them back together, and I get to be a little bit stronger. I get to be a little bit wiser. I get to move a little bit smarter. So I think the important thing is to not look at what you lost from it, but look at what you gained from it. I have 6. I have just a new look on life, and it doesn't have to be a negative outlook, you know. It can be a good thing. You just have to look at the positives of the situation. It might not seem all that good initially, but look at what you got instead of what you don't have. So once I stopped looking at what I didn't have, I could open the doors to so much more, you know. So that's how we do it. I don't like having these talks with y'all because y'all always end up making me cry, but I'm just sensitive. So it's like, I never had a boyfriend, but seeing these men cheat and thinking that might happen to me scares me. I never, ever, ever will be scared of love. I am not scared to love again. I am not scared to date again. I'm not scared because I think that somebody's gonna cheat on me. I'm scared just because I'm just not ready, or I'm just nervous a little bit. You should never be scared of love. I think that you have to understand that life hurts sometimes, and that's okay. But what is not okay is somebody continuously hurting you. So understand that any man that you get with, you're gonna go through something. Any woman that you get with, you're gonna go through something. It just, the highs have to be worth it to be going through those things with that person. To think that you are just gonna find somebody and the situation is gonna be perfect, it's not gonna work. You will never be happy like that. But a trying person, trying woman, a trying man, anybody who's trying is worth fighting for, is worth sticking it out with. Somebody that is deliberately hurting you and consistently hurting you and taking advantage of you is not worth it. So don't be scared, whoever that is. You better get out there. I have had the most fun in my life dating. Dating is so much fun. Go date. And understand too that every situation does not have to lead to, you know, a romantic relationship. That's another thing that I think that I felt like that I'm supposed to be settled down, and I'm young. You have to go see the world. There are so many different type of men and women in this world. To think that the person you're supposed to be with is around the corner or up the street, or, you know, it is just, stop thinking that everybody has to be a long-lasting relationship. Some people are just experiences. They are just meant to be experienced. Some people are just meant to teach you things. Everybody is not going to have a permanent place in your life. There is so many people in this world. Every person you meet is not going to stay. And don't feel like every person, you do not have to be in love, or you do not have to fall in love, and you don't have to post, and you don't have to like everybody that you date. You just date and you learn. And I think the more you learn about people, the more you learn about yourself, and it just goes from there. So yeah, don't be scared, but don't rush into anything either. Have fun with whatever you do. Date for years. You can literally know somebody for years and just date them for years. Like, you don't have to, you don't have to be so serious all the time. Why is your weight an insecurity? My weight is not like an insecurity because, oh, I feel like I'm less beautiful because I'm not as thick as I used to be. But it, for me, is that losing so much weight as fast as I did, it was hard to know that it was my body telling me that you are unhappy, my body telling me that you are not in a healthy space. So it wasn't really so much my weight being an insecurity, it was why I was losing weight that was kind of bothering me. You know, to know that you hear that, you know, relationships make you gain weight or relationships make you lose weight, but, you know, I really didn't notice it or really didn't believe it until I saw it for myself. I'm beautiful, skinny, thick, whatever it is. I actually think that I have a really nice body, whether it's skinny or not, but it just all depends on preference. Some guys like thick girls, some guys like tiny girls. Yeah, it was why I was skinny that was bothering me. But I've gained 5 pounds already, so if that counts for anything. But I'm not insecure. I wasn't like, oh my god. You know, I would still wear stuff that show, I felt like if I was like really insecure about it, I would wear way more clothes. I literally wear clothes that show how skinny I am when I could just add some layers on and look thicker. But yeah, it wasn't I'm skinny and I hate myself. It was, wow, I'm skinny because I'm stressed out. And so that bothered me a lot. So, are you and Taylor still friends, and will you ever speak about why, if not? No, Taylor and I are not friends anymore. I don't want to speak on why, because, you know, it's just some things are better left untalked about, and some things should just be handled in the privacy of your own life. And I think that that's another thing that I learned, like, everybody does not need to know everything. What I will say is that we've been friends for years. This is not our first problem. I give my friends the same chances, if not more, than I give anybody else, than I give my relationships. And I'm just tired of giving people I'm tired of giving people chances. I have pretty much had enough. I just want to, anybody I have to question, I just don't want around me anymore. And that goes for relationships, and that goes for friendships, and that goes for family members. It is not personal towards her. It causes me more of a headache to have people around me that I have to question. So that's it. That is the short version of it. I would like you guys to stop asking and stop poking and stop trying to see. I am never going to talk about it. I just don't think it's necessary. It won't change anything. It will only make matters worse, and I just don't feel like it. I just literally want to move on. And if I sit on this camera and I talk to you guys about what happened, it will drag it out for so much longer than it needs to be dragged out for, and I do not feel like it. That is not good for my mental health. That is not good for any of the parties involved in mental health. So let's move on. How do I cope with deep depression without committing suicide? See, I know I'm Mrs. Transparent, so I have to be very transparent with you guys. Middle school through high school, I went through a phase or stage or whatever you want to call it of depression, and my arm that is covered in tattoos is, my tattoos are covering up a lot of scars on my arms. You can feel them, you can see them a little bit if you get close, but the tattoos kind of cover them up as good as it's going to get. You know, for me, my childhood was just a lot for me to handle, and so that's why I was doing it. Yeah. I think that I was doing it because I really didn't understand how life works, and I still don't. I don't really know. I think it depends on where your depression is coming from. My problem was I think that I was waiting on an apology, or I was waiting for something. I don't really know what I was waiting for, but the best way to deal with depression or to deal with sadness is to realize you can wake up and you can choose to feel however you want to feel. I have had some of my worst days of my life, I hope, and I have literally some days woke up and said, you know what, today I'm gonna have a good day. I'm gonna get dressed, I'm gonna shower off everything, I'm gonna put makeup on, I'm gonna do my hair, and I'm just gonna go out and feel good. And I don't think that we realize how much control we have over our emotions. And I think too that like there's something in this generation or something in the world right now where we're a little bit, not obsessed, but you know, we have a little bit of an obsession with being sad or being broken and being I don't want to call it obsession because that's extremely insensitive to people, but you do not have to be sad, you know? Hold on, my baby's up. Yeah, I definitely don't think obsession is the word that I'm looking for, but I think we like to sit in our sadness a lot, and the worst thing that you can do for it is sit in it. I would listen to extremely sad music to make things worse. I would, you know, just do things that didn't help. And, you know, I noticed when I'm sad, and instead of listening to sad music, I listen to uplifting music, or I listen to happy music, or I listen to dancing music, whatever it is that brings me out of a funk, it helps. So I think the best thing is to know is that you don't have to be sad if you don't want to, you know? You can literally wake up and say, you know what, today I'm not doing it. Today I just don't feel like doing it. Today I'm gonna have a good day. Today I'm gonna get up and do it. And even if you have to cry at the beginning of your day, like I'm a shower crier. I feel so like I'm releasing everything when I cry in the shower, because the water hits you and it's like you're washing it off. So just try to get up in the morning sometimes and wash it off. Turn on some happy music, dance around, do what you gotta do, but do not sit in your sadness. I was one of those people who would sit in my sadness. I would turn on sad music and I would go in the bathtub and I would cut my wrist up. And yeah, it is harder than it sounds. You know, it's not as simple, but just choose to want to have a good day, choose to want to have a good life, and watch how life switches up for you. You know, it's simpler. It's hard, but it's also like that simple, you know. I don't really know how to describe it, but you don't have to be sad. You don't have to sit in your sadness. You don't have to sulk in your sadness. Get up and take a walk. Get up and go outside. Get up and do something. Do not sit in it. That is the most advice I can give you. How are you and Taliban coping with you guys' relationship? How are you guys co-parenting? Surprisingly enough, me and Taliban are doing a really good job at co-parenting. I'm actually shocked. We are way better. We're way better like this than we were in the relationship. And once again, our relationship was not horrible, you guys. We had some good times, a lot of good times, a lot more good times than bad times. But yeah, y'all, we have a really good co-parenting relationship. We just, you know, I just let him know that we can just we're not together anymore. We can be very honest with each other. The more honesty there is in our friendship, the better the co-parenting relationship will go. Yeah, we're actually doing really good. I don't know why or how or who's helping it. We've had our bumps in the road getting to here, of course, but you know, the important thing that I keep in mind is that it is not about me. It is not about our relationship. At this point, like, I cannot harbor the feelings. I cannot have, you know, keep holding on to my disappointment and my anger towards him, because it's over. You know, I'm doing myself a disservice, and I'm doing Six a disservice by harboring resentment over something that is over. It's over, it's finished. Now it's time for the next part. The next part is, you know, I went into a little bit of details about my mom and my dad's relationship and how it makes me feel that, well, how it affects our family that, you know, they can't, you know, or my dad doesn't want to be in the same room as my mom. And because of that, Six won't see much of them, and I don't see much of them. And I don't want it to be like that, you know. Like, I want Six to have siblings. You know, in the future, we'll move. Realistically, we're gonna move on. Realistically, we're gonna start new families, and I want Six to know his brothers and sisters on both sides. I want my kids to know, you know, I just want to be able to have a family. If Taliban felt like he had a girl that he really likes and he thinks that she's a good fit to be around our kid, I would be so for that. I would just sit down and talk to her like, look, don't be hitting my son. If he do something bad, call me, because, you know, my stepmom was kind of mean. We have a good relationship now, but I think that she took out a lot of her discomfort with my mom on us, and I just don't want that for Six. But yeah, we're co-parenting really well. Someone else asked, like, how are we going to handle the custody thing? We haven't talked about that much, because as you know, I'm with Six majority of the time. It will be strange now because, you know, Taliban is just used to waking up to him and being able to see him, and that is not the case anymore. But like, for the holidays, he's gonna come and spend the holidays with Six. Maybe I'll, you know, put him on my channel, let him and Six bake cookies, or you do something for Vlogmas together. just so you guys can see him, because I know y'all are dying to see him. Y'all are annoying. First of all, like, this was never about him. It was always about me. But I'm shocked that we're getting along so good, and my son loves his dad, and I don't know why. No, I'm just kidding. But it is almost an obsession. So no, I don't know why it is an obsession, because he's kind of quiet. He don't really do much, but they have their own relationship, and I would never, you know, never want to get in the way with that. So Taliban is welcome to come and see Six whenever he wants. Yeah, we're co-parenting really well. I didn't think that it could happen. I didn't, but I think that you just take your feelings out the relationship and understand that no matter what happens now, no matter, you know, if you cheated, no matter what you did, we're family. Like, we are stuck with each other. We are always going to be family. We share blood now. So you might as well just get over it, right? You might as well just be okay. Do not make your life harder than it needs to be, and it does not need to be hard. We are gonna raise our baby to the best of our abilities. But yeah, Taliban, y'all know Taliban moves around a lot. He travels a lot. So I don't think it'll be that different for Six. I don't think it'll be that noticeable, and that's not to throw any shade, but you know, I think it'll be kind of like, it'll of course be a lot less time, but we're used to Taliban traveling and maybe leaving for weeks at a time, or a week at a time, or a couple days at a time. So I think that you know, those little bit of times he was gone will prepare us for him being gone more now. So that's it. Just, y'all, when you break up, drop everything. It is no reason for me to still be mad. I mean, there is, but yeah, just why? I don't want to carry that myself, you know. I don't, if I don't get over it, I won't be able to heal. So take everything else out the equation. This is who we have to focus on. We're doing a good job at it. I hope that we continue to do a good job at it. Yeah, that's really all I got to say about that. Wrong for DDG to pick his girlfriend over his relationship with Lala. Y'all know y'all always ask me everybody else questions, like anybody gonna listen to me if I say it, but I'm not gonna say that it's wrong. What I will say is that I think it was possible to keep the two, keep both relationships, and move on from the situation. But it takes a level of maturity from all sides. So I would understand that maybe he's being pulled in a different direction to make a different decision, but business is business and personal is personal, and I think that all of those, you know, those relationships should be kept separate despite what happened. But I also knew that it wasn't too good of an idea for, you know, that's why I really wasn't concerned with trying to find him any friends to match up with or be with, because things just get messy and you just don't know sometimes. So yeah, I'm not gonna say it was wrong of him, because I know if DDG could, he would keep both relationships. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. Why did I stay in my toxic relationship for so long? Was it really that long? Okay, 5 years is a long time. I think we just actually made we would have made 5 years in November. But the toxicness did not start until he came home. And then by the time it started, I was well into my pregnancy. So, and this is no excuse, I could have left while I was pregnant, but I think I shut down. You know what it was? I really think that after the whole stabbing incident, I was so scared of myself and just so turned off at what I had done that I kind of just turned my brain off. I just stopped thinking about it. I stopped feeling it. I just went numb. I went blank. I was just like in a robot like state. Like I was like, you know what, this is my life and this is just how it's gonna be. So after a while, I just stopped thinking, you know, because my thoughts would just be all over the place, and it would be so, they would consume me if I kept my brain turned on. And that's how I stayed for so long. I literally just, I shut down. I stopped doing the things I loved. I started drinking a lot more. I just stopped. I stopped everything. I stopped at life. I just laid in the bed all day and didn't do anything. So when I met DBG, and that's why I always say, you know, he's done more for me than he'll ever probably realize. It's deeper than money. When I met DBG and I met you guys, it turned me back on again. It woke me back up again. It helped me get back to myself. It helps me realize that I'm a person and I'm here and I matter and I'm important. And then what? February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. And then 8 months after I met you guys and met DDG, my relationship was over. So yeah, I don't really look at it as I stayed in the toxic relationship for so long, because it was toxic last year when I was pregnant, and it was toxic almost through this entire year, and then now it's over. So, but I am one of those people that when I'm ready, I'm ready, and that's it. Like, I have to do things on my own time. I cannot be convinced. I cannot be forced. I cannot be told what to do. I literally have to go through things, and I have to experience things, and I have to feel it. And then eventually I'll start to navigate. And that's what I did. So definitely don't, you know, I don't know, to each his own. I don't feel like I stayed in it for that long. It wasn't as toxic for as long as it seems, but yes. Yeah, all these questions are literally about baby daddy, baby daddy, baby daddy, baby daddy. Somebody asked, when he cheated, did you want to fight the girl or did you want to fight him? I have had certain girls that I did want to fight. Certain girls who have talked to me in person, seen me with him in person, rubbed on my belly. So yeah, those girls will not want to run into me anytime soon, because as much as I think I've grown, I just don't know. But no, most of the time I didn't have any beef with the girls. They would literally, it would be something that they did or something that they said after I've had conversations with majority of the girls. The way I look at it is, you know, because when stuff like that happens, my sister's like, nah, we going to beat her ass because she knew, you know, y'all post each other, blase, blase. The way I feel about that is like, don't no female owe me nothing. If she had a man that I wanted, shit, I'd probably take him too. I mean, I'm saying like, if that's what I was on, I'm just not, you know, on that. But these girls don't owe me nothing. They not my friends. You know, my friends will cross me. Why would I think that a stranger won't do something to me? The problem is that when you see me with him and you're touching on my stomach and you're commenting on my pictures, that shit I don't like. So those have been, there's been a couple, I think like 2 that I have tried to fight out of the collection. But yeah, definitely always take it out on Taliban. Anybody will tell you Taliban gets knocked upside the head. I do not think that a girl owes me anything. Just don't talk to me. If you're gonna deal with my significant other, knowing that that's my significant other, don't talk to me. So yeah. Okay, last question. How is your self-love journey going? It is honestly going amazing, y'all. I am really falling in love with life again. Not just myself, but I'm really enjoying life. I'm just doing things that I really like to do, and yeah, it's good. I am getting up earlier. I already talked about that, but I'm getting up earlier. I'm making sure that I think that in order to find myself again, I have to start doing the things I love again. So I'm making sure that I'm doing more things that I like to do and doing more things that I love to do, and then it'll make the process so much easier. But go ahead and wrap this up. I want to thank you guys for coming to Hot Cocoa and Topics. I hope that I answered most of y'all questions. Not that y'all asked anything other than the same 2 or 3 questions, but yeah, that's it. That's an update on my life. That is an update on my situation. That is an update on why I moved to Miami. That is an update on how I enjoy Miami. That is an update on Baby 6, because he came and made a cameo. The hot chocolate was good. I would definitely try to make the hot chocolate, y'all. It doesn't have that powdery texture like packets of hot chocolate does. So yeah, that is it. Maybe we can do another one and y'all can ask some different questions. I like to do Q&As. I like to sit and talk to you guys. I just don't like to answer the same questions. So after this video, we are not gonna keep talking about the same thing. But yes, that is it. I am happy, guys. Do not be worried about me. A lot of you asked, how am I doing? Am I okay? I am okay. Trust me, I'm doing great. I think I look like I'm doing great, honestly. Like, I don't know, I feel like this is it right here for me. Like this next chapter in this path that I'm getting ready to walk down is getting ready to be that big moment for me. I think everything is getting ready to start to fall in place. I think that everything feels right for once in my life, y'all. Nothing has ever, I've always felt like I either didn't belong. I've always felt uncomfortable in certain situations. I've always felt like I couldn't be myself in certain. Sorry, y'all, my camera died while I was finishing and the demon child has woke up. But yes, like I was saying, I just feel like this moment is my moment, my time, what you looking at? I just feel like I'm ready to be who I was meant to be. I'm ready. I'm just ready. That's all I got to say. I'm ready, so don't be worried about me. Thank you, though, for your support. Thank you for your love. You have no idea. It does more for me than you think. And yeah, we're going to get back to Vlogmas. We got some fun stuff coming, so just keep watching.